So this video will take you through questions 16 through 20 from the practice math portion of the ACT that you completed. So a car accelerated from 88 feet per second to 220 feet per second in 3 seconds. Assuming the acceleration was constant, that means the same amount per second. What was the car's acceleration in feet per second So first you need to find how much the car accelerated. So if the last speed was 220 feet per second and the calculations began at 88 feet per second, that's a difference of 132 feet per second. Now the car accelerated over 3 seconds, so 132 feet per second divided by 3 seconds, that gives you an even 44 for your acceleration, and technically feet per second squared. So that would be H, 44. Then in a plane, the distinct lines A, B, and C, D intersect at A, where A is between C and D. So I would draw a picture. It doesn't have to be the best picture ever, just so you can get some things labeled. So A is the intersection point, so we'll call that point A. Here's point B because A and B are distinct lines. C and D is the other distinct line, again intersecting at point A. Those look perpendicular. They are not necessarily. In fact, they are not, because the measure of BAC is 47 degrees. So again, BAC is 47 degrees. You're asked for the measure of angle BAD, which would be this angle here. Now, those two angles they create a linear pair. So the two angles together give you that straight line, that straight angle, which is a total of 180 degrees. So if you're at 180 degrees for your total, and you've already used up 47 degrees, then the result would be 133 degrees for angle BAD, and that's answer choice D. Number 18 wants you to list fractions in ascending order. That means least to greatest. Now, some of you might be pretty good with your number sense and not have to do much on this problem. But if you need a fraction refresher, remember, if you really want to compare fractions, you need to have a common denominator. And you get the common denominator by finding the least common multiple of those denominators. So 24 would be the least common multiple. That's the smallest number that each of those will divide into. So if you're comparing 1/2, 5/6, and 5/8 in terms of 24s. So if you think about 1/2 as a fraction, that's 12 24ths. And the way you can walk through that is 2 goes into 24 12 times, but 12 times 1 is 12. And we can use the same process here. 6 goes into 24 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. 8 goes into 24 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. So then when you look at your fractions with a common denominator of 24, you see that this would be the smallest of the three. So if you're going in ascending order, that 1/2 needs to be first. So we can mark out actually all of these other answer choices. I would just make sure that 5/6 would be my largest of the three, and with answer choice F, that is in fact the case. Number 19, you have a computation to complete, but your answer must be in the form of scientific notation. Now, as you get started, there are answer choices you can go ahead and eliminate. These are really large numbers. So you can eliminate A as an answer choice because of that exponent. It's negative, and that indicates a really, really small number. You can also eliminate answer choice E because with scientific notation, this first number here has to be between, it has to be 1 or larger, and no, it cannot be at 10. So somewhere between 1 and 10, not including 10. So when you are ready to make that computation, you can think of this number as being 6.7 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th power. And you're going to add to that 7 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th power. And that's nice because this portion of our scientific notation is the same, and that will allow us to simply add our values together. So 6.7 plus 7 would be 13.7 times 10 to the 8th power. However, this number here is not in scientific notation form. So that being the case, that takes it back to 1.37 times 10 to the, now to go from the smaller number, which we're going to use in our answer, to the larger number before it, we would have to move that decimal one more place. So that increases one more to a 9. Therefore, our answer is D. And then the last one in this set, you've got a trapezoid. AB is parallel to DC. The measures of the interior angles are distinct, and the measure of angle D is x squared x degrees as noted in the figure. What is the degree measure of angle A? In terms of x. So that means you will not actually come up with a value. You are coming up with an expression that will have x in it. Now, since AB and DC are parallel, these angles here are same side interior angles or consecutive interior angles. One is acute, one is obtuse. They are not the same, but they are supplementary. They sum to 180 degrees. So if their total is 180 degrees and you subtracted x, that would leave you with angle A. So angle A is equal to 180 minus x degrees, which is answer choice F.